Jefferson High School cheerleaders, and Fox 12's Friday Night Lights starts now.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.
I got scripts too. Change is good, but it doesn't always pan out as hoped. The first year of the two bracket concept in OSAA's 6A football. Great for the team seeded 17 through 32 in that Columbia Cup. But for the state title tourney, only one game was within 15 points a week ago. The rest saw round one finals of 30, 40, and 50-point blowouts, all in favor of the top 8 seeds. Our big game in the quarterfinals wasn't that. The private school Holy War had a whole new level of meaning. Fox 12 Chandler Watkins live from Cronin Field with the two-time defending state champion Rams and Crusaders met again in the playoffs, Chandler. This time, the home of Seder Nation after CCHS hosted them in the semis a year ago. You look cold, but what a night.
I can't confirm it is cold out here, but Nick, what a game, what a crowd, what a night. For the first half, it was pretty much back and forth between the two teams. And this game, it came down to the last 3 minutes when the Crusaders were trying to force their way down to the field for another touchdown, but the Rams defense just wouldn't hold up. It's the Holy War showdown between the Jesuit Crusaders and Central Catholic Rams. Both student sections are loud and ready for a great game. The Rams are first to receive the ball and first to strike, with Cade Gellin getting the first touchdown. A fake punt on the 4th down gives Jesuit a first down, and they're back in business. They put 6 on the board the next play to tie the game up 7-7. Second quarter starts with a Crusader touchdown by Jace Burton. The Rams respond with a 60-yard touchdown of their own by Cade Gellin. Again, we're tied 14-14. Central Catholic decides to kick a field goal to bring the score up to 14-17 as we head into halftime. Third quarter, both teams' defense holds strong. The fourth quarter, Garrett Spear runs down the middle and into the end zone for Jesuit. The Crusader defense holds the Rams to the 4th down. But QB Crew Newman keeps the ball to himself and runs it down the middle. It's enough for a first down. The next play, Rams make a touchdown, bringing the score up to 23-20. As the clock ticked down, the Crusaders tried to drive the ball down the field, but the Rams defense held strong. A last-ditch effort on the 4th down proved unsuccessful for the Crusaders. The two-time defending state champion Rams move on.
I mean, I was jumping up and down, holding my head, doing all sorts of emotions, but I knew our guys would pull through, and they did. Defense did a great job all day, so I'm really proud of them. It's awesome, and it's just a great feeling. Still got a lot of work to do, but in the moment, it's just so cool.
I don't know if you heard it in the background of those plays, but this crowd was electric tonight. Now, next week, the Rams advance to the semifinals to face off against West Linn. For their eyes on the prize, Newman says, let's have some fun. Let's do it. In Beaverton, Chandler Watkins, Friday Night Lights.
Well, happy Veterans Day to those who served. Number 8 Sherwood, number 1 West Linn. Pacific Conference champs and the Three Rivers League champs meet for the first time in the 2019 quarters. The Lions have roared to at least 30 points in every game this season. 4 straight of 50. You can make it now 5 straight. First minute of the game, Sam Levitt, Jackson Shellstad. Future Coug, future Duck. 65-yard lid lifter in the Lions' den. Boy, John Eagle, the magic man behind the curtains, coach loving this. Levitt to Mark Hamper, one of the best wideouts around. Big game, just short of the goal line. Soon, though, Kufi Kawami made it for the payday. Cash him out. Good for 6 from 5. Lions ferocious on that line and the edge as well. Back-to-back sacks. Jake Holmes, Gus Donnerberg, they are feared at all stops. Levitt and Hamper make it look like a summer workout. Gloves now needed. Hand warmers, too. Another big stick mover to the red zone. Sam I Am and Mr. Shellstad then with the alley-oop. A 9-yarder, that's all first quarter. Jackson, a 3-score night for the Hooper. 56-7 in the end. West Linn now gets Central Catholic next Friday night in those semis. Many could argue and could or should be the title game, and they might not be wrong. The other half of the bracket had another dandy on the marquee. 6-seeded Mountainside, number 3 Tualatin, a first ever meeting between the two. John Mannion's Mavericks entered the T-Wolves' den with back-to-back shutouts. But it was 47-14 Tualatin at half when our camera arrived from Wilsonville. Bowden Griffith got his. The senior little grounded, pounded in from 19. The state runners up back in the Final Four, 53-21. The Wolves, you know, they're battle tested and now ready to pack the bus to Eugene, we think. The second-seeded Irish defeat number 7 Lake Oswego 42-7. The Lakers lost their starting quarterback Liam Davis to injury in the first half. So we'll have number 5 against number 1, number 3 and 2 in the semis. Times, locations still to come. We think it's going to be Friday. And nothing says Friday night like a shot with the Cheesemakers. Our Will Metzel was on the new turf at Doc Adams Field in Tillamook as the number 6 Tillamook kids won their first league title since 1999 and hosted the lowest remaining seed in 4A, the upset-minded number 14 Gladstone Gladiators.
Ranked number 6th in the state, the Tillamook Cheesemakers were looking to move on in the quarterfinals, but they did have to get past the visiting Gladiators from Gladstone. The Cheesemakers playing in front of a full house at home who have watched them already capture a league title this season. It's Judah Warner taking it 5 yards into the end zone for the touchdown in the first quarter, make it 7-0. Then in the second quarter, another methodical drive on the ground ends with quarterback Tanner Hoskins calling his own number and scoring from 15 yards out, making it a 14-0 Cheesemaker lead. Then with the Gladiators driving just before halftime, the Tillamook defense steps up. Tyler Moncrief intercepts Brady Owens' pass, and the Gladiators are kept off the board. The Gladiators showing more fight as Owens just gets over the goal line for a 2-yard touchdown, making it 21-6. But Tillamook once again answers with Moncrief taking it in from 1 yard out with just over 3 minutes left, and 28-6 will be the final score. Hoskins helped lead a strong run game en route to the win.
Oh, that's really good. I love my running backs. They're a bunch of, monsters. And yeah, they run hard.
And these Cheesemakers now move on to the state semifinals for the first time since 1989, where they will face LeGrand. That game is going to be on Saturday, and it is expected to be played in Hood River, and there has been no time set yet, though, for that game. In Tillamook, Will Metzel, Friday Night Lights.
So great to see Will, part of the team now. Nora Hart, by the way, if anyone in Tillamook is listening, she needs a Cheesemakers hoodie or a hat, something fun like that. Other 4A finals, Tillamook now stares down that showdown with number 2 LeGrand, 28-13 over Pendleton. Estacada over Hindley, 17-16 on the road after a blocked extra point in the fourth quarter. Scappoose will be in Klamath Falls Saturday at number 1 Mazama. The Rangers next play that winner. The 3A and 1A levels all play their quarterfinal matchup on Saturday. Big quarterfinal clash in 5A. The reigning state champs from Silverton seated number 7 at number 2 Wilsonville. A first ever matchup, the Foxes and Wildcats at Randall Stadium. Boy, that Wilsonville defense has allowed about 1 touchdown per game during a 6-week win streak. Special teams pretty good too. Blocked that kick, a punt block. Home team in primo field position, Wesley Herr recovered. Shortly thereafter, Wilsonville's gonna punch it on in. Callan Guttridge, the lefty sling to Rydell McElroy. Across the body, made it 7-0 WHS. Second quarter, well, the navy blue and silver feed Jacob Ogden. The senior wants to win it all. Why not? You're there still. You spin, you break, a tackle in the process. 38 yards on the collection. And then Guttridge, lethal with his arm and the legs. The lefty too with the runs? Sure you can. It's actually going right. And Miller over the middle. 9-yard score. There will be a new champion in 5A as Wilsonville dethrones Silverton 39-26. The Wildcats now get bend in the semis as Lava Bears blank the South Albany Redhawks 40-0. Central headed over the mountains to play Summit in Bend, and the Storm chased them away 35-7. Summit last in the Final Four when they won it all back in 2015. And 12-seeded Dallas had its hopes of a title dashed in Springfield by those Thurston Colts 27-14. The dry turf at Hare Field in Hillsboro, 3A quarterfinal. 5th-seeded Santiam Christian, 9-1 record. 10-0 Banks, a 4th seed. Both some great defense. A sustained opening drive for the Eagles on 4th and goal, though hard to stop in Training tracks. SC senior Jaden Christie, always an honor and a privilege. Touchdown Santiam Christian. 7-0 late second quarter. Banks has allowed just 41 points all season. This one snuffed out by Justin Webb. Take it back over. Sophomore, yeah, he's pumped. Banks trying to hang something before the half. Christian Lyda, perfect ball. Ashton Crossan across midfield, 30-yard gain. Boy, rough night for both sides on offense in the cool air. Banks took their first lead in the fourth quarter, won on a red zone interception by Max Walker with 23 ticks to go. 10-7. Cold in the hands, boys. Now draws Saturday's winner, Vail and Kennedy, in those 3A semis. 1A 8-man from McMinnville tonight. League rivals Perrydale and St. Paul. Meaning for the second time in 3 weeks, the Buckaroos did it again to the crew from Amity, 62-6. He'll now get Myrtle Point. Life certainly is larger than football, right? The Jefferson Demos know that. Winners of the program's first playoff game since 2011. Jeff into the Columbia Cup quarters, having won 6 in a row. It was October 18th when off-the-field life got all too real for those kids at Jefferson High. A drive-by shooting had the teens fleeing for safety while a senior member of the Demos football team was hit by a bullet in his leg with a non-life-threatening injury. The experience, now for the whole group, remembered for the rest of their lives.
It was around like 4 o'clock. All had weight training, so we all outside, and then all you hear is just a car coming down the street, and after that, just shots.
One of those scenarios where you just gotta thug it out, you know. You don't forget it. You're not gonna like forget it, but you know we keep them in our hearts and our prayers.
Yeah, Jeff back in the dance under second-year head coach Anthony Stoudemire, who in his third stint with the Demos, last head coach there in 2012 after starting his coaching career as an assistant back in 1978. So it had been 50 years since North Salem faced Jefferson back in the 62 playoffs. 28th-seeded Vikings, number 20 Democrats in the inaugural Columbia Cup. The kids from the Cherry City have one of the nicest tailbacks around. Josiah Davis means business every single week. Breaks down the door for TD number 1. Big Josiah. Then more from number 5. The 225-pound senior running back wants that top prize in the cup. Prize fighter punches in another one. Jeff's got some playmakers too, though, like Jure Mott Jr., senior leader, taking a leadership role from Coach Stoudemire. Big long run, but no points would be had. Davis logged 4 first-half touchdowns, 42-8 North in the end. It's the Vikes' first semifinal appearance since 1963, a first, of course, in the Columbia Cup. Ring up another Columbia Cup quarterfinal along Cornelius Pass. Top-seeded second bracket, number 17, Liberty, home with number 25, Clackamas. Some of the best plays aren't designed. Opening quarter, Blake Baker's pass tip, but not a problem because Cassius Weaver, the sophomore lineman, sweet hands, man. And a first down. After a big penalty on Lake Ridge, they're in the red zone, and on 4th and 4, they convert too. Baker cooks up for the tight end, Cale Pisano, and from there they get the direct snap to Hudson Normand. Over the line and in, swing your sword. But Liberty rallied the posse along, wagon away and won, 28-18. North will be waiting now in the Columbia Cup semis. Time, location to be determined. Two teams, some of the toughest schedules in the state. Lake Ridge, Oregon City, both out of the Three Rivers, of course. OC won the regular season matchup 29-28 to end that 19-game league skid. Out in front 21-7 were the Pacers to start the second half, but the Pioneers were rolling here. Ben Schneider, Ethan Hopwood hops in for 6. It's a one-score game, 6 minutes to go in the third. Lake Ridge now on the 35. Boy, Ryan Oliver's so darn good. And how about this one? Jay Swigard, one hand's all you need, kid. Put that swag to the OC 20. That would set up this. Ansu Sano, letting them know he's going to get in for the score. Another big-body dude. Lake Ridge doubles an edge, 28-14. We see you. You're swole. The Pacers can play some defense, too. Tashi Crowfoot picked the pig. Lake Ridge ball on the road. And that trick-or-treat bag, never too late. Oh, he froze. This is a trick play. Baylor Corbin, oh, my goodness, we missed it. We'll show it to you plays of the week on Sunday, 35-14 for Lake Ridge. 6A Columbia Cup quarters in Rock Creek, 23rd seeded Sprague, 5-5 Westview. The Wildcats Olympians last met a decade ago. Head coach Ryan Atkinson was there. And how about this one? Leading 14-0, easy to rip it, Nolan Keeney to Caden Huppin. And then Keeney, another field flipper, stays on his feet. The quarterback, Houdini-like for Keeney, heads west. Going to go from 44 to 22, add the numbers, quick math, it's a 34-yard gain. And one of the best backs to ever do it had a hat trick of tugs in the first half. Jordan Fisher, swimming and flexing. Big Fish ran for 324 yards, 5 scores in that route in his Wildcat Stadium finale. 41-0, more memories to be made. Next stop, the semifinals next Friday with Lake Ridge. Still to come, real in that real Big Fish. Toot your horns. Westview's Jordan Fisher, forever etched in Wildcat lore. Our spotlight segment with that dude, Mr. 2000. Plus more from our two crews in the field. Will was the big cheese in Tillamook. Cheesemakers into the semis for the first time since 1989. And more with Chandler and our cheer of the night from the Holy War. How about the playoffs in Washington? Skyview in Graham on Saturday in 4A. 3-8, Kelso up in Ferndale falls to the Yellow Jackets 44-14. 2-8, Washougal's Panthers up in Burien, falling to Highline by a field goal, 30-27. 1-8, La Center and Kashmir, Bulldogs bark, 22-17. Week 11, the quarterfinal playoff edition of FNL. Back after this.
You're watching Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.